Hi, I'm here just to run through a quick core strengthening exercise routine with you. This is going to be less than 10 minutes, and if you can do this every single day. So we're going to start prone, facing the floor. If you have a towel, you can use a towel. And that's pretty much all you really need. I like to add a towel just to have a little bit of extra cushioning for my knees and my elbows. So we're going to start off with a 1-minute plank, working up to a 1-minute plank. So we're going to do these on your forearms. Planks are most effective if you can do them on your forearms. And I'm going to walk through a little bit of a checklist that you're going to think about when you're in these planks. I promise this minute will go fast. So let's turn over onto your hands and knees, and we're going to come down to your forearms. So right here, just bring it down to your forearms. They can be on a mat, and you want your forearms to look like the number 11. They are going to be parallel. And you're going to walk these knees back, put these knees together, and see how my tailbone's up right here? I'm going to press the pelvis into the floor and create a straight line. So from here, this is a plank. You can also have a rolled towel underneath your knees. So you're going to hold this for, say, 10 seconds. While you're here, the first thing you want to do is shrug those shoulder blades in the back of your back. Kind of put them into a pocket, pull the belly up, but tuck the tailbone, and I want you to squeeze the butt cheeks together and breathe. So after 10 seconds, you can take a little breath, breathe, come into a little stretch, a little down dog, and then come back. So 10 seconds again. We're going to try tucking your toes into the floor, and we're going to tuck your toes. So here we're going to start with our plank on our knees. Notice, tailbone is squeezed and tucked. Shoulders down my back. Neck is long, looking straight ahead. Tuck those toes, and you're going to come up into a 10-second plank. Just want to keep your neck in normal alignment. You're squeezing your butt cheeks. Your shoulder blades are down your back, and you're hugging the rib cage around, like it's squeezing your midline like a corset. And that's 10 seconds. Release it. Do a little stretch back. And then come back. So to make that a little bit easier, you can always take your legs wider. And then come up. And here we go. Gives yourself a bigger base. Shoulders. So if you can turn your palms up, that's even better. Shrug those shoulders. Pull the belly in. Rib cage is a corset. You're squeezing your butt cheeks. 10 seconds. You can also add variations of taking a little inch back and a little inch forward and an inch back and an inch forward. But you're working your way up to holding this plank for 1 minute. It could happen in a week. It could happen in a year. So just give yourself some wiggle room, and the fact that you're doing it 10 seconds, releasing, and then 10 seconds, you're going to do that 6 times. Then the next time, say you're going to hold it for 15 seconds, do that 4 times. Eventually you'll get there. Just give yourself credit for trying. So that's core. That's how we get warmed up. And believe it or not, that simple little exercise will get your heart rate up a little bit. So now we're going to move on to core work on your spine. So the first thing is, if you want to check, we're going to do without involving the neck. You don't even have to say I have a bad neck, which I do. You don't have to involve the neck at all. You're going to start with your hands down by your side, turn your palms up, and then squeeze those shoulder blades again and walk them down. Then your belly's going to come up a little bit, and you can maybe, have like a little hand that can come through the lower back. I want you to pull the belly in and press that lower back into the floor. So now your whole spine is on the floor. and you're making an imprint, whether you're on the carpet or whether you're on your mat or a towel, you're making an imprint of each vertebral body pressing into the mat. And hold it, breathing. Always want to breathe during these. This right here is engaging the transverse abdominals. So just keep pressing in, and believe it or not, that is working. Think about, imagine that corset. Imagine someone's knitting your ribs together. You keep pressing down. We're going to add on. We're going to lift the left leg up and then bring it down. Then the right leg up and bring it down. And then left. This is trickier because it looks very simple, but you're trying to keep the vertebra on the mat. You're pressing. This is working the deepest abdominal muscles that you have, the transverse abdominals. A lot of people don't think about them because you can't really see them. That's not involved in the six-pack, but it's very healthy for core health. All right, so now give yourself a little break. Inhale, exhale, we're going to add on. We're going to bring this left leg up, this right leg up, and then lower left, and then lower right. Left, right, lower the left, lower the right. So one thing to notice is when you bring your knees up, your feet off the floor, they do not come past your hip bones. They're going to stay right there. Don't squeeze them into your chest. And then we're going to alternate the other side first, and then left, and then lower right, and then left. Keeping the shoulders down. Sometimes you have to take your arms out of it, because I like to use my upper back, my traps for everything. So I will figure out a way to get those involved and take less off the abs. So think about, we can have your hands here. You can put your arms in goalpost arms. Press in right, left, the whole time that vertebra is on the floor. So adding on. If you're spent, give yourself a break. Squeeze your knees in. If you want to add on, big breath in, exhale, press, tighten the corset, lower those shoulders, create that long neck, left leg up, right leg up, pressing down right here. Pressing down now, we're going to add on. Left hand goes across that left knee, right hand presses into that right knee. And then take a big inhale and exhale, press the spine into the floor as you're pushing your knees away. At the same time, I would like for you to pull the knees into your chest, but you're not moving. So it looks like I'm not doing anything. But do you see where my knees are lined up? Right over my hip bone, not any closer. Hold at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. So now we're going to come into a dead bug series. That's where we're going to start. If you want to modify, you can always start here, but let's stay with me. We're only going to do this for a short little time. Bring your legs up, hands on your knees, knees over your hips. Big inhale, exhale, press that spine into the floor. Press your hands into your knees. Pull your knees into your chest. You're holding it. That spine is pressed in. You're lowering your shoulders. I'm going to walk my left hand over to my right knee, and I'm going to let the left leg extend as the right arm extends up, and then press back. So extend up. So I guess this isn't a dead bug. This would be maybe a dying bug, if that is a trigger word for you. Think about a bug doing a backstroke in a bird bath. Back, release, pack, squeeze it in. So my transverse abdominals, they're not resting. This is way harder than it looks. And then release, pull a knee in, pull your knees in, and then back. So the transverse abdominals, we worked them during the plank, and we're working them here. So press those hands against the knees, pull those knees in, press the spine into the floor, Tighten the rib cage, right hand comes onto this left knee, and we're going to inhale, extend, exhale, pull it in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, good. Inhale, exhale, keeping that spine. You're visualizing that spine pressing into this mat. Good, let's do 3. Pull it in, and you see that we're not going quickly. The slower you go, the better it is. And 1. Give yourself a big squeeze. Maybe pretend you're an egg, you're rocking and rolling, just nice to release the lower back. It also is a lower back strengthener, so if you did feel that in your lower back, that's okay. Clasp your hands behind your knees, cross your ankles, and we're just gonna roll up to a C curve. So a C curve is when your back looks like the C, or maybe a backwards C. So clasp your hands behind your knees. Big inhale and exhale, pull it in. So now we're changing muscle groups. We're going to go into the rectus abdominis. To start, you can also bring your forearms to the floor, and then take a second to lower your knees to where your knees and your shoulders are about in the same plane. That's how you know you're about the right spot. Then release the right arm, clasp your hands behind, release the left arm without coming up. Inhale, exhale. Your chin this whole time has a nice opening between your chest. You're not squishing. Pretend you like have an orange between your chin and your chest. Now, pull the belly button in towards the spine, and we're going to take this up an inch and down an inch. So my arms look like they're giving a bear hug or a ballerina. It's up and it's down. Up, but I want you to see my spine. It's in that C curve, up and down, up and down, down and up, down and up. Good, hold it here. If you want to move on, you're going to release these hands, turn these palms up. Same thing. It's going to take this up an inch and down. It's up and lower, up an inch and lower. When you start to feel it into your spine, I want you to take a little bit of a break. Maybe come all the way up, release it. So now we're going to add on a little bit. So if you're not ready to add on, stay right there. If you want to try adding on, you create that C curve around that spine. Elbows are out like a ballerina, and you're going to take your right hand behind, your left hand behind, and it's up and down. It's up and down. So you're pulling the belly button into that spine. Good. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. We're going to come all the way down. Keep your knees bent for this first one. So I always start you with the basic, and then we can move on to a more advanced. So you want to see change in your core, you want to have tension for a long time. So I like to say time under tension. So clasp your hands or put your fingertips close together and support your neck. Elbows are going to come out of peripheral vision so they're not cradled around your head. We're going to come up as high as we can, and then just take it down an inch, up and down. So to create that tension, you're not going to let your head or the tops of your shoulders hit the floor. You're going to keep them up the whole time. And let's do 8 of these. So let's do 4 more. It's 3, it's 2, it's 1. Hold it here. Now very similar to this little dead bug exercise we were doing with our head on the floor. We're going to bring this left leg up, right leg up, left leg down, right leg down. Lift, lift, lower. Let's do the other side. Lift the right, lift the left, lower, lower, right, left, lower, lower. Take this right up and extend it. You can keep your left foot on the floor, or your left leg is extended. And lift it up and then down an inch. Lift it up and down an inch. Lift it up, down an inch. Lift. It's 4, Your feet can be pointed. Your feet can be flexed. It's 2. It's 1. Now, if you have your knee bent, that's okay. If you have your knee straight, that's okay. We're just going to reach this left leg up, tap this right heel, and do a little reverse crunch, and then bring it back down. A little reverse crunch. We're only doing 4. That's 3. Down, tap, 2, and 1. Hold it up here. Just reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I know you're getting tired. Hang on. We're going to crawl up this right leg right here. Reach, 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 and then pulse for me. 8, 7. Your leg can be here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's just switch these legs. Left leg extended. Right leg can be bent. Or here. Up an inch, down an inch. Still, we have not lowered our head. We've kept it cradled in our fingertips. And I need 4. I need 3, 2. It's 1. We're going to bring this right knee up. Do a little reverse crunch only for 4. We're almost finished. 3. It's 2. Hold it up right here. Just do a reverse crunch. So reverse crunch. Do you see how the distance of my hips are coming off? Barely. They're barely coming off this mat. If you're doing this, then you're using a different muscle than your abs. So tiny, contracted. 1, reach it, crawl up this left leg, and then pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last exercise. Hands behind the head. Knee bends 90 degrees. Good old bicycle. Tap this right elbow to your left knee. Bring it up and over. Left. Bring it up and over. So you're trying to twist at the torso and the shoulders to get your elbow to the outside of that knee. Outside. Without, here's the tricky part, pulling on the neck. This has to come from your core. You can do this bent leg. Modification is you're tapping. Tap, tap. Make it stronger, no tap, and kick it out. Even harder, straight leg bicycle. And then just to test the mind, just to trick it, we're going to do reverse bicycle, like you're doing, going backwards. Back, back. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5. These are for the obliques now. And 2, and 1, and done. Take your hands out to the side. Bring your feet onto the floor. Gently let your hips, legs fall over to one side. And then look at the opposite direction of your knees. So if my knees are to my right, I'm looking over to my left. Big inhale. Exhale. Give me a big squeeze. Pull these knees in. Squeeze nice and tight. Maybe bring your chin up. Bring it back down. And then let these knees fall over to the left. Or the opposite direction. And then look at the direction of your, opposite direction of your knees. So I just placed, I want a little bit extra stretch here, so you can always use your hand to create a little bit of extra resistance, and you'll feel this in your lower back. All right, so we stretched the lower back. Let's clasp your hands. Wait, one more thing. Bring your feet down to the floor. A nice little release for these abs before we flip over is to press these heels into the floor. Raise these tailbone up, 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 and just bridge. So a bridge is hips extended to the ceiling. You want to have your hips at least fist distance off the floor, and you want to press through the heels to get these legs up, up. Big inhale, exhale, rolling over onto your belly, kind of where we started, And we're going to shrug these elbows down towards your rib cage. And hands are going to go flat against the mat of the surface, and you're just going to gently pull away from the floor as you press your hands into the floor. Claw your fingertips and drag your fingertips. Drag your forearms and elbows into your rib cage and look forward. Now you want to look to the left, bring it center, look to the right, bring it center, come back, lower down, clasp your hands one top, or just place one hand on top of the other, rest your forehead there. Feet are going to be heavy, a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and you're going to inhale, bring your forehead off the mat about 3 inches with these arms, bring the arms with you. So working core, we've got to work these small little muscles in our back as well. Maybe you can bring your hands into goalposts, and maybe if you'd like to, you can add your legs. You don't have to come up very high. And you're just going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7. Squeeze these shoulder blades down your back. Find that little pocket to tuck them in nicely. 3, 2, 1. Hands come underneath your shoulders. You're going to press back. And last thing, cat and cow. Hands stay underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips. And you're going to relax the belly. Think of this as this is your cow. So you have a belly nice and relaxed. And then you're going to do a little scared cat. Pull the belly in, round the spine, and pull this. Having microphone issues, pull this belly in. Relax that head. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. And do that a few more times. And you're ready. Great job with your core. Very basic, but also not easy, very hard. Thanks for showing up. I'm Sharon.